Men over 60, I want to share something with you today that might surprise you. There is a common kitchen spice, one you probably walk past every single day, that has been quietly restoring vitality, circulation, and intimate performance in men who thought those days were behind them forever. This is not ginger. This is not turmeric. This is something far more potent, far more targeted, and yet so humble that most men never think twice about it. I am speaking of cinnamon, true Ceylon cinnamon. And when prepared correctly in your morning tea, just one small pinch can begin to shift things in ways that might remind you of decades past. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Cinnamon? In tea? How could something so simple make any real difference? And I understand that skepticism. Over the years, I have met countless men in their 60s and 70s who have tried everything. Pills that made their hearts race. Devices that felt mechanical and cold. Expensive treatments that promised the world and delivered frustration. And through all of that, they never once considered that the answer might be sitting right there in their spice cabinet, waiting patiently to be used in the way nature intended. For more than 3 decades, I have studied how the body responds to natural compounds. I have watched men transform their health not through force or artificial stimulation, but through gentle, consistent support of the body's own design. And one truth has become crystal clear to me. When we feed the body what it truly needs, when we work with its natural rhythms instead of against them, it responds. It remembers. It rebuilds. Aging is natural, gentlemen, but the decline in performance, the loss of firmness, the disappearance of morning vitality, that is not inevitable. That is often the result of years of poor circulation, inflammation, and blood sugar imbalance, and these are things we can address. Let me tell you about cinnamon. True Ceylon cinnamon, not the common cassia variety you find in most grocery stores. For thousands of years, this bark has been treasured not just for its sweet, warming flavor, but for its profound effects on the body. Ancient healers called it the spice of life. Traditional medicine systems across Asia and the Middle East used it to restore vigor in aging men, to balance the blood, and to kindle what they called the inner fire. They did not have our modern terminology. They did not speak of nitric oxide or insulin sensitivity. But they understood something fundamental. They understood that when circulation is strong and blood sugar is stable, the body functions as it was meant to. And for men, that means performance, confidence, and vitality. Modern science has now revealed exactly why cinnamon works so powerfully for male health. When you consume true Ceylon cinnamon, several remarkable things begin to happen inside your body. First, it contains compounds called cinnamaldehyde and procyanidins. These natural chemicals have a direct effect on your blood vessels. They help relax the smooth muscle tissue in your arterial walls, allowing blood to flow more freely. Think of it like opening a partially closed valve. Suddenly, circulation improves. Blood reaches areas that may have been starved of oxygen and nutrients for years. For men over 60, this is absolutely critical, because an erection is nothing more than a hydraulic event. It requires strong, steady blood flow to fill the chambers of the penis and maintain firmness. Without proper circulation, no amount of desire or mental arousal can produce the physical response you want. But cinnamon does something even more important. It helps regulate blood sugar levels. You see, when blood sugar spikes and crashes throughout the day, as it does when we eat processed foods and refined carbohydrates, it damages the delicate lining of our blood vessels. This damage accumulates over decades. The vessels become stiff, less responsive, less able to dilate when needed. Insulin resistance develops, and with it comes inflammation, weight gain around the midsection, and a dramatic drop in testosterone production. High blood sugar is one of the silent killers of male vitality. It destroys circulation, disrupts hormone balance, and steals energy. Cinnamon, when taken consistently, helps stabilize blood sugar. It improves insulin sensitivity, meaning your cells can actually use the glucose in your blood instead of letting it wreak havoc. And when blood sugar stabilizes, inflammation decreases, circulation improves, energy returns, and yes, performance begins to come back. There is also the matter of nitric oxide. This is a molecule your body produces naturally, and it is absolutely essential for erectile function. Nitric oxide signals the blood vessels in your penis to relax and expand, allowing blood to rush in and create an erection. But as we age, especially past 60, nitric oxide production declines. The vessels become less responsive. Cinnamon helps stimulate nitric oxide production. It gives your body the raw materials and the signals it needs to produce more of this critical molecule. And when nitric oxide levels rise, so does your ability to achieve and maintain firmness. Now here is where it becomes even more powerful. Cinnamon alone is effective, but when we combine it with certain other natural ingredients, the effects multiply. The body responds not to isolated compounds, but to synergies. When multiple supportive substances work together, they create results far beyond what any single ingredient could achieve. This is the wisdom of traditional medicine, and it is being validated by modern research every day. One of the oldest and most powerful partners for cinnamon is raw honey. Not the processed, heated honey you find in plastic bottles at the supermarket. I am talking about raw, unfiltered honey that still contains all of its natural enzymes, minerals, and beneficial compounds. Raw honey has been used for centuries as a male vitality tonic. In ancient Greece, athletes consumed honey before competitions to boost stamina and strength. In Ayurvedic medicine, honey mixed with warming spices was prescribed to restore vigor in aging men. And there is real science behind this. Raw honey provides quick, stable energy without spiking blood sugar the way refined sugar does. It contains boron, a trace mineral that has been shown to increase testosterone levels naturally. It also contains chrysin, a flavonoid that may help prevent testosterone from being converted into estrogen. For men over 60, maintaining healthy testosterone is crucial. Low testosterone leads to fatigue, weight gain, loss of muscle mass, depression, and yes, poor sexual performance. When you combine cinnamon's blood sugar regulation with honey's testosterone support, you create a powerful foundation for male health. But there is more. Adding a small amount of fresh ginger to this combination takes it to another level entirely. Ginger is a circulatory powerhouse. It has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for thousands of years to move stagnant blood and warm the body. Modern research shows that ginger increases blood flow, reduces inflammation, and may even boost testosterone production by supporting the health of the testes themselves. One study found that ginger supplementation increased testosterone levels by 17% in men with fertility issues. For men over 60, ginger helps ensure that blood reaches every part of the body, including the most intimate areas. It also aids digestion, which is critical because poor gut health leads to inflammation, and inflammation destroys circulation and hormone balance. Let me also mention black pepper. This might seem like an odd addition, but hear me out. Black pepper contains a compound called piperine, and piperine dramatically increases the absorption of many nutrients and beneficial compounds. When you add just a tiny pinch of black pepper to your cinnamon tea, you increase the bioavailability of cinnamon's active ingredients by up to 2,000%. That means your body can actually use far more of what you are consuming. Without black pepper, much of the cinnamon would simply pass through your digestive system without being absorbed. With it, you maximize every benefit. So now the question becomes, how do we actually use this? Knowledge without application is just information. Let me walk you through the most effective method I have found over the years. Each morning, before you eat anything, prepare this simple tea. Boil about 8 ounces of pure filtered water. While it is heating, take 1/4 teaspoon of true Ceylon cinnamon powder and place it in your favorite mug. Add 1 teaspoon of raw, unfiltered honey. Grate about 1/2 inch of fresh ginger root or use 1/4 teaspoon of dried ginger powder if fresh is not available. Add the tiniest pinch of black pepper just enough to barely taste. Pour the hot water over these ingredients and stir well. Let it steep for 3 to 5 minutes. The heat will help release the active compounds and blend the flavors into something warm, slightly sweet, and deeply satisfying. Drink this tea slowly, on an empty stomach. This is important because when your stomach is empty, absorption is maximized. The compounds enter your bloodstream quickly and begin their work. Some men prefer to drink it while still in bed, sitting quietly and setting an intention for the day. Others drink it while reading or preparing for the morning. The ritual itself matters. This is not just about consuming ingredients. It is about creating a daily practice of self-care, of honoring your body and giving it what it needs. For enhanced effects, you can also prepare a second cup in the late afternoon, around 3 or 4 o'clock. This helps maintain stable blood sugar throughout the day and provides another boost to circulation when many men experience an energy slump. But start with just the morning cup for the first week or two. Let your body adjust. Notice how you feel. Pay attention to subtle changes. And then, if you wish, add the afternoon serving. Now, what can you realistically expect? This is perhaps the most important question because I want to set honest expectations. In the first few days, most men notice a gentle increase in energy. Not a jittery, caffeine-like buzz, but a steady, warm vitality that carries through the morning. You might also notice that your mind feels clearer, more focused. This is the blood sugar stabilization at work. Your brain is getting consistent fuel instead of the spikes and crashes that create brain fog. Some men report feeling warmer, especially in their hands and feet. This is circulation improving. Blood is reaching the peripheries of your body more effectively. By the end of the first week, you may begin to notice changes in the morning. For many men over 60, morning erections have become a distant memory. But as circulation improves and nitric oxide production increases, the body begins to remember this natural function. You might wake one morning to find a firmness you have not felt in years. Do not be discouraged if this does not happen immediately. For some men, especially those with significant vascular damage or very low testosterone, it may take 2 or 3 weeks. But when it does happen, it is a powerful sign that your body is responding, that the mechanisms of male vitality are being restored. Moving into the second and third weeks, the benefits typically become more consistent. Firmness improves. Sensitivity returns to areas that may have felt numb or unresponsive. Energy levels stabilize at a higher baseline. Many men report feeling more confident, more interested in intimacy, more like their younger selves. And here is something important to understand. This is not artificial. This is not a drug forcing a temporary response. This is your body healing, rebuilding, remembering how it was designed to function. The improvements are real and sustainable as long as you continue supporting your body with these natural compounds. By the end of the first month, if you have been consistent, the transformation can be quite profound. Men report not only improved performance, but also better overall health. Weight begins to come off, especially around the belly. Sleep quality improves, mood lifts, inflammation decreases throughout the body, joint pain often lessens. Digestion becomes more regular. These broader benefits remind us that the body is not a collection of separate parts. When we support one system, especially circulation and blood sugar balance, every system benefits. Your heart, your brain, your muscles, your hormones, they all function better when blood flows freely and energy is stable. Over the long term, 3 months and beyond, the results compound. Men who stick with this simple daily practice often find that their vitality continues to improve. Morning erections become regular again. Performance during intimacy becomes more reliable, more satisfying. The fear and anxiety that often accompany erectile difficulties begin to fade, replaced by quiet confidence. And this confidence itself becomes part of the healing process because stress and anxiety are major contributors to performance issues. When you know your body is responding, when you trust that the mechanisms are working, you relax. and relaxation allows even better blood flow and function. Of course, results vary from person to person. A man who is otherwise healthy, who eats well, stays active, and manages stress will likely see faster results than a man dealing with diabetes, severe obesity, or high blood pressure. But the principle remains the same. When you give the body what it needs, consistently and patiently, it responds. I have seen men in their 70s reclaim vitality they thought was gone forever. I have watched transformations that seemed impossible. And it always comes back to the same simple truth. The body wants to heal. It wants to function properly. We just have to remove the obstacles and provide the support. Let me also mention that while this cinnamon tea is powerful, it works best as part of a broader approach to health. If you are still eating processed foods daily, drinking alcohol heavily, smoking, or living in a state of chronic stress, no amount of cinnamon will fully compensate. But if you are willing to make this tea a daily habit and support it with even modest improvements in diet and lifestyle, the synergy becomes remarkable. Cut back on refined sugar and white flour. Eat more vegetables, especially dark leafy greens. Include healthy fats from olive oil, avocados, and nuts. Move your body daily, even if it is just a 20-minute walk. Manage stress through deep breathing, time in nature, or whatever brings you peace. These simple changes, combined with your daily cinnamon tea, create an environment where healing happens naturally. There is also the emotional component we must acknowledge. For many men over 60, the loss of sexual function has been deeply painful. It affects not just physical intimacy, but self-worth, masculinity, and the quality of relationships. Some men withdraw from their partners out of shame or fear of disappointment. Others become angry or depressed, and all of this is understandable. But I want you to know that this decline is not a verdict on your worth as a man. It is not a sign that your best days are over. It is simply a signal that your body needs support, and that support is available, natural, and effective. When you begin to see improvements, when firmness returns and confidence rebuilds, something shifts emotionally as well. Hope returns. Joy returns. The playfulness and connection that may have faded from your relationship can come back. And this is perhaps the greatest gift of all, because intimacy is not just about physical performance. It is about feeling alive, feeling connected, feeling like yourself again. When you reclaim your vitality, you reclaim a part of your identity that you may have mourned as lost. So gentlemen, let me bring this all together for you. What I have shared today is not complicated. It does not require expensive treatments or risky medications. It is simply one small pinch of true Ceylon cinnamon combined with raw honey, fresh ginger, and a touch of black pepper, steeped in hot water each morning. This humble tea, when consumed consistently, works with your body's natural design to improve circulation, stabilize blood sugar, support testosterone, and restore the vitality that makes you feel like yourself. It is not magic. It is nature. And nature has always provided what we need if we are willing to look closely and listen carefully. If this message has resonated with you, if you see yourself in what I have described, I encourage you to begin tomorrow morning. Gather your ingredients tonight. Set them out on your counter so they are ready. And when you wake, before the demands of the day begin, give yourself this gift, make your tea, drink it slowly, trust that your body will respond. Be patient with the process and know that you are not alone in this journey. Thousands of men before you have walked this path and found their way back to strength, confidence, and joy. If you found value in what we discussed today, please consider sharing this information with a friend who might benefit. And if you are new to this channel, I invite you to subscribe so you can continue learning about the natural, science-backed approaches to health that have transformed so many lives. Your vitality matters, your health is precious, and it is never, ever too late to reclaim what you thought was gone. Trust your body, support it wisely, and watch as it remembers the strength it was always meant to have.